Okay, today I want to give a talk about the introduction. Digital era takes to the growth in information and communication technology, ICT, successful organization. We use the context of the growth in the digital era and the related advance to recreate themselves to survive and thrive in this changing environment. The problem they try to overcome the potential of such basic by the collecting data from key information. From that, we also follow some procedure and statistical remedies to reduce the manual method bias. For instance, while designing the survey, we provided a separation in instrument by setting that we were simply interested by firms' behavior rather than any connection between the environment change and adoption of CE and growth strategies. Further, we promised and kept anonymity of respondents. The objective operation managers may prepare the initiated changes in process to meet the revised corporate objectives that may issue. Managers from firms primarily in high-tech industry must cope with simultaneous inter-development of products and services. Operation managers may prepare for these changes based on whether the firm pursuing internal development or external acquisition of technology.
Okay, I will continue the presentation about the main point from the journal that can be related to Malaysian corporate entity. The focus was on website development for providing information on product, service to customer, and later idea e-commerce was introduced. This main point can be related to Malaysian corporate entity because the entrepreneur nowadays very like to use e-commerce to start their own business. This platform gives people, especially entrepreneurs, a good benefit in business. The second main point is engage in environmental scanning to spot a change and then exploit it to their benefit. Manager must carry out 3 tasks that relate to sense making in a changing environment. From this main point, manager in Malaysia must be more sensitive to change in the environment in order to further improve the company's performance over time.
Findings from the journal: Changes in the environment and corporate entrepreneurship. The first task of the changes in the environment and corporate entrepreneurship is scanning, wherein managers must synchronize their environment to recognize anticipated or realized changes in it. The second task is interpretation. The manager must analyze and understand the scanned information and interpret the changes and its likely causes on the organization. The third task is action. Based on sense making and interpretations of the changed environment, managers must execute relevant actions to respond to these changes. In conclusion, we assert that monitoring environmental change would allow a firm to be proactive and convert a potential threat into a potential opportunity. Okay, for the context is we have the theory or model for the corporate entrepreneurship in the digital era, the cascading effect through operation. Okay, it is argued that with the advent of the internet, grow in the ICT organization functions such as marketing has been redefined and redesigned. Okay, through our research, we have identified two-dimensional under the direct control of management that consistently differentiate how companies approach corporate entrepreneurship. Okay, the first is dimensions is organization ownership. The second is research authority. Is there a dedicated pot of money allocated to corporate entrepreneurship?
Okay, my name is Muhammad Syafiq bin Azali. My metric number is C19B0239. Okay, I want to talk about a weakness of the journal. One of the weaknesses is the company have a problem in technology level. It is because the firm technology don't have high-tech industries. The way that can be take is manager of firms primarily in low-tech have to pay more attention to change the external change in the external environment and monitor organizational. Low-tech firms tend to engage in external technology acquisition and prepare to change processes to absorb new technology from the external sources. Managers from firms primarily in high-tech industry must cope with simultaneous internal development of products and services and the acquisition of firms. That way can allow to cope with fast-changing new technology such as ICT that may require adjustment to corporate objectives as well as operational processes.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Lakmanul Hakim bin Mat Angkat. My metric number is C19A0256. Today I want to talk about the conclusion of this journal. This journal is set out to examine the adoption of CE by a firm as well as the adoption of a set response constituting OR and PR to cope with changes in environment due to the growth of the digital era. We make certain of likelihood of high-tech firm behaving differently from a low-tech firms in their approaches to exploiting opportunities afforded by such changes in the environment. We found out that in the context of a growth of the digital era, position and testing a sequential relationship between environmental changes, adoption of CE, achieving OR, and finally PR help to understanding the interface between entrepreneurship and the operation function of a firm.